Alright guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Sean the Average Angler. Today we are going to talk about the Ozark rig. And if you don't know what the Ozark rig is, hang out, we're about to show you. Now why do we want to fish another rig? Well, I've talked about it throughout my channel on a lot of different videos. And that is, it's always good to alter presentations. Maybe we fish the same bait, but we're altering the presentation. It appears different to the fish, the action of the bait's a little bit different, and that will trigger bites. So what we have here is a bait that probably every single one of us has fished, and it's on this Ozark head. You see the weight is distributed along the shaft, which is going to cause it to fall differently. Now the Senko, or Bass Pro Shops, what do they call this thing? Slinko or something? Stick-O worm. So the Bass Pro Shop Stick-O worm, or a Senko also, really tends to spiral a lot, and you get a lot of action out of the tail. Completely different than what you normally see on a Senko. Worms are a great way to catch fish. They're also extremely weedless, right? See, I'm rubbing my finger over the hook point because it's just barely pushed down into the plastic there. Now, what am I going to throw this on? By the way, that's a 3/16 ounce head. With the weight of the bait, you got plenty of castability. So I'm going to throw this on an Irod 704. So 7 foot heavy. I got 14-pound test on here, and I'm going to throw this just about anywhere I want to throw it. Okay, I'll throw this into wood, I'll throw it on rock bank, rip wrap, and work the bait out. Now we're going to go over a couple alternate baits that we can do on here presentation wise. Okay, so we got the Stick-O. You can use a Senko, you can use a Yum Dinger. If you're into the Elastec stuff, the Zman stuff does really well on this because you can take it on and off and it doesn't destroy the bait. Now some alternatives might be something like the Spiron from GeeCrack. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a Bellows, but it's not ribbed and it's a solid bait. It's kind of thick in here, and it's got the little swimming tail. Now this bait, I'm going to rig a little different in that I'm going to go in this way. And as you bring that around on the Ozark rig, there you have it. So you're going to get a little kicking from the tail, but this thing's going to glide around as it falls in a circle, right? Might go one way and then it might come back the other. Part of the trick to that is you got to give it some slack line to work on. If you're holding the line taut, it's just going to glide back towards you, and it might go side to side a little bit, but for the most part it's going to work back towards you. So you want this, if you want it to spiral, you need to throw it on slack line. As you can see, it's not too bad to get back off. This material is fairly salt impregnated and feels a lot like a Senko. Okay, for a brush hog style bait, I really like the Reaction Innovations Man Bear Pig. And there's a reason for that. Whoops. Now first of all, with Reaction Innovations, we all know we get great colors. But the reason I like this is because you can see the plastic here in the head. Okay, so we got a good solid head to work with of plastic, which is going to help secure the bait and not destroy it every fish you catch. Now, that's not that unusual to destroy baits every catch. I mean, we're all probably used to that at this point. But it's always nice if we can prolong the baits for a few fish. So there's your brush hog style bait. Again, this is a really good one to fish. Now, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. This is just an alternate way to fish some baits that we all fish to present in a different manner than normal. Now, one I do really like is the Robo zipper worm. Okay, this plastic is pretty sturdy, and for this one I'm going to go in from the top again. Now, one thing I do want to point out, when you put this on, put the side you want up, go in through the side you want up. And there you have it. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the Robo zipper worm, first of all, it comes in two sizes. This is the bigger one. The other one is a little bit smaller. Still fit on the same hook. This again is the 4/0 3/16. It's a 4/0 hook. This is a really cool rig, and let me tell you, it gets bit. Had the direct record on the Delta more than one time throughout the years. Okay, another good one, because the plastic being a little tougher, is the Berkeley Havoc Pit Boss. And this one is, it's peanut butter and jelly, but they call it purple pumpkin red. Really cool color, actually. And again, you've got a good amount of plastic there for rigging your bait, which really helps prolong the life of the bait. Heavy salt baits aren't necessarily always the best for this because they rip so easy. Now this one rigs really well, and you'll see, because the plastic, we can keep it in the hook point here. So now you have all plastic there. This is going to be a very snag resistant rigging with this bait because of the fact there's no point here. Okay, the plastic is going to help prevent the bait from falling into some of those small cracks that we all get caught in and then hang up and lose our bait. Okay, really good bait for fishing. It's not cut as wide for gliding. Well, it probably is almost as wide, let's see, as a sweet beaver. It is just as wide. It just doesn't look like it because of the shape. So the sweet beaver's a good one. The other one I really like, mid-sized brush hog, and just about any of the Zman Elastec baits. The Mag FattyZ is another good one to throw on the Ozark. This comes in two weights. 3/16 is the heavier one. I like the 3/16. Most of what I'm fishing, I'm using this as an alternative for pitching to cover. okay, or casting to cover. You can throw it on rock piles. I really like it around upright stuff because that allows the gliding action to come into play. Dock pilings, standing timber, those kinds of things, okay? The hook is pretty strong. You can use up to 18-pound test. If you go more than that, make sure you set your drag so you can whack them on a hook set, but I wouldn't want to bend the hook out. And I think if you go too heavy, you could stand a chance of bending the hook out. But give the Ozark rig a try. It's very, very effective, and with all of your plastics that you would normally flip and pitch with, it just has a different fall. Different is what we want. The fish get tuned into certain things and then they get leery of it, don't want to bite it. But when it has a different action, they forget all about it for a while, and that's the best time to capitalize. Sean the Average Angler, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.